Juna, Virgo, nice to meet you. Thank you for agreeing to talk to us about your experience of worship in Reading. When did you first come to Reading?
June 1963.
Wow. Wow. How old were you?
Was 16 years of age. Arrived at Acre airport late at night. And the strange thing about it was, someone said, "Who is meeting you?" Because I came up by myself. My parents had sent for me. And the first thing I said, I wanted to see Buckingham Palace.
You're in England.
I'm in England. And the man says, "No, your mother is outside. You need to go and see her." A little incident that happened when I said I wanted to see Buckingham Palace, the man then looks at me and then he says, "Have you got any records?" I said, "Records?" He said, "Have you got any police record?"
Oh.
I said, "Yeah, I got the laughing policeman." I said, "But I didn't bring it with me." And the guy looked at me strange.
So you had your sense of humor.
I didn't know what he meant.
Yes, exactly, yeah. What's your earliest memories about church in Reading? Because this is partly about that, when you first came.
But when I first came here for about a month, I didn't go anywhere. And then I wanted to go because I had a slightly Roman Catholic church upbringing. And I went out looking for one, and I couldn't find a Roman Catholic church, so I didn't bother go anywhere. And then at the age of coming up just over 18, I enlisted in the army, the reserve army to begin with. And then I think, it was February 65. I saw some people witnessing on the street giving out tracts. And this fella says to me, can I invite you to church? And I'm thinking, for 4 years, my mom been trying to sort of get me into church. Right. Or is this chap gonna get me into church in one in one evening? Yeah. And the thing was, there was a cinema in Reading called ABC, which was in Fire Street, Reading. And there was a film I hadn't seen since I was a boy in Jamaica. And it wasn't gonna start until 6. So I told the fella, "Yeah, I'll see you in church," I said, which I had no intention of going. I went home, wait for 6 o'clock, or close to 6, and then I said to Mom, "I'm going to church," and she started laughing. I said, "I'll show you." I said, "I'll tell you everything the vicar says." And this fella said he would meet me at 10 to 6. At 20 to 6, I walk up, hoping that I would miss this chap. So I went to what was then by the co-op, look around, make sure he wasn't there. And as I look around the corner, there he was. And I thought, oh no, I'm caught like a rat in a trap. And that was how I ended up going to that service. And
so which church was that?
This was Greyfriars Church in Reading.
Yes.
It was that same evening the Lord spoke to me, and I mean a physical voice. Never experienced anything like that before. And I gave my heart to the Lord.
Wow, so first visit to First Church in Reading.
First church in Reading, yeah.
Wow, yes. And what was your experience at the church like?
The excitement, I didn't notice any prejudice or anything like that. If there was, I didn't notice it. It was more the excitement of being saved. And this group of people, there's 4 of them all together, and they were working for a Christian Culpitors Association. And that's what they did. They were street work, so they were like a church within the church. So over the years, I got to know people quite well, and because of my jolly thing, as again, like I said, I didn't experience any uncomfortableness, and if it was, I didn't notice it. Long after, maybe, but at the time.
Yeah, so at the time it felt comfortable for you.
Yeah.
And have you tried other churches since then?
Yeah, there were some West Indian people in the church at the time, and one of them, a gentleman called Light, said, "Oh, we are at the Church of God of Prophecy," which I've never heard of, and he asked me if I'd like to visit. And I'm thinking, I don't like shifting between churches, but anyway, I did went, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So. 3 major churches I've been visiting. One is the Church of God of Prophecy, and the other one is still called the Church of God in Greyfriars.
Right. So over the decades, those 3 churches have all been your home.
That's been my home, yeah. And there is one which is now still is a home to me as well. It's called the Assemblies of God. It's Mount Zion, which is up Wokingham Road, and that's a beautiful little family church, and the gospel is just right. And yes, I feel at home every time I go there.
Okay, what do you mean the gospel's just right?
Gospel in the sense that they stick to the word of God. Nothing is watered down, just like in Jamaica when you hear, if they mention sin is sin, hell is hell, everything, and you know where you stand. Whereas some establishment in some churches it tend to be watered down a little bit because they don't want to offend anyone. And that's what I meant by that.
Okay. And so how do you, on Sundays now, where do you go? Which one is the one that you visit most often, or you feel like is the place for you?
I go to the Deliverance Center, which is on the Portman Road. I remember when they used to be at the Abbey Gateway, and I've kept up with them. And right now, I flitter between the Deliverance Center and the Church of God and the Assembly, which is Mount Zion. I tend to go there because I met many people over the years, and I felt it was more sociable to get to know different people from different Christian organizations. So in that way, I ended up gaining lots of brothers and sisters and friends like that, yeah.
Yeah. And do you think your experience of worship in Reading would be different, is different from how it might have been if you were back home?
It probably would have been. The one thing I learned to do, I'm an outspoken person, but I try not to offend anyone. So if I speak the truth and someone is offended, unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about that. But I wouldn't deliberately go out of my way to offend people. And I just love the gospel, so I speak technically as the gospel says, and I do it in love, obviously. I do a lot of street preaching. And in that way, you meet people from different organizations, and they come and join you, and you help. So I try to work with different
groups and
groups in
denominations.
Reading.
Yeah, sounds great. It's just an extra question. Have you got a favorite hymn or song or?
I used to have many. I'm trying to cut it down. Great is Thy Faithfulness is one, which is just one, and it's like asking me to choose which Bible. I've got some wonderful songs, but I like gospel songs, especially the one with the testimonies, because it lifts your spirit.
Yes.
I literally, it's very difficult to choose.
Great is Thy Faithfulness. We'll take that because you said that one.
That's right, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for speaking today with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hopefully that's okay for you. Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Great. Nice to have you.
Thank you.